long again.
Excellent. Here we go.
What you want?
You're listening to The War Report, a wrestling and relationships podcast with your host, Vince Barry. The War Report is brought to you by TagMeADate.com, where wrestling night is date night. Sign up now, and your first month is free.
Good evening, all of my tater tots, and welcome to another edition of the War Report. Brought to you by TagMeADate.com. As usual, I'm your host, Vince Barry, and I'm from Northeast Wrestling. These are my TagMeADate.com co-hosts here, and I hope everybody's having a good week so far. It is 7 p.m. on the East Coast, December 8th, 2015. We're going to talk a little wrestling. I'm going to be honest, I did not watch a single second of that show last night, and it sounded terrible. But before we get into all that...
We're going to talk about that.
Before we get into all that, let's just go around the room. Eric, how are you today?
I'm alright. I just got back to North Carolina today. Had a little bit of a family reunion type of deal, sort of Hanukkah party my mom threw.
Nice.
Saw, my favorite tag team, my twin nieces. It's Uncle Eric's favorite tag team,
Sweet.
And I did see Steve over the weekend too. It was
that's unexpected.
It was nice because we go back way beyond Tag Me a Date, and it was a good time. And I'm glad to be back, home safe and sound, and ready to go tonight.
Excellent. Well, we're all ready to go. I closed the door, on the room that I record in to prevent other sound from coming in. And apparently the cat was sleeping somewhere in the room, hiding, because she just woke up and started walking around. Now she's confused as to why the door is closed. I'm like, well, if you see me flash away for a second, I might get the cat out of here depending on how much... She likes to jump on things that are bright and shiny, or just things that I'm using at the time. So it's very likely that she would jump up here and shut the whole fucking computer down. Anyway, Ryan, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
She is eyeing the cable to my right. Yeah. She's going to pull something over.
That cat is just...
Yeah, I posted pictures. She sits in the sink. She sits in the fridge. She finds just... Oh, hello, miss. Okay.
It's like, okay, which cord am I pulling out tonight?
Pretty much. It could be any... There are a lot of cords over here, so we'll see.
I can start nibbling on all of them for you.
Right? How are you? So how's it going, Ryan?
Oh, pretty good. Another beautiful day, right?
Of course, it's a new day. Yes, it is.
Oh, don't you be sour.
And the big boss, Steve, how are you?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. Things are good. I'm excited. We got a lot of great things coming, a lot of events we're going to be a part of. We'll start announcing soon. And I'm actually really excited because I'm going to be able to see the Northeast Wrestling family this Saturday. So I'm very excited. We're gonna come and celebrate Christmas in Tavenville,
Yes.
aka Hanukkah in Tavenville.
I saw that post.
The Hanukkah in Tavenville thing was the funniest.
I posted it. I posted it, and I was like, "We're so excited. We're gonna see the fam." So yeah, we're gonna get there. I don't know how late we're gonna get there, but depending on what time I get out of work. But
Nice.
But yeah, Lombardi's hooking us up, and we're excited. We miss you guys, so it'll be a good time. And yeah, so things are good, and we got a lot of wrestling to talk about. How about you, Vince? How's everything?
Can't complain. The cat is looking at me like she's gonna bust through something soon. This is wonderful. But other than that, I can't complain. Having a good week, all that good stuff. Work, etc. Everything's go. Come, hold on. I don't know if you hear that din here. She just jumped up on my desk.
I heard the meow. That is an awesome.
This is
Hold
Dusty
it up
Baby.
like Simba.
Hi, Kitty. Kitty, you're on the internet now. The internet loves cats. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, our viewership just went up 200%.
My eyes are itching through the monitor.
You know, I'm usually very, very, very allergic to cats.
Grumpy Cat's got a date.
How the fuck are you allergic to cats and have one, bro?
Because I went to a thing
Yeah.
and I met this cat here, and it turns out that my eyes did not itch and I did not sneeze.
Wow.
So this is the first and only cat I've ever met that hasn't given me an instant allergy. And
Yeah,
she was like 2 or 3 months old, so I'm like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And so far, so good.
That's
She's
awesome.
very, very cooperative. I'll get the microphone out of the way so people can see. Hi, Kitty.
Cats have some. Every brand has a little different dander, and sometimes it's not as bad as the others.
I have always been deathly allergic to cats.
Me too, actually. I've been allergic to cats for my whole life, pretty much. Hey.
No, but like, dude, I could take any allergy pill, anything, and it doesn't make a difference. Like, cats are the worst. Like, long-haired dogs too, I have a problem, which sucks because I like bigger dogs. But yeah. But in any event.
All right, and I'll probably move the cat later. But in any event, we were talking wrestling. We are having, oh goodness gracious, the rating for this week's Raw. I don't know if
they hit a record low.
It's
just looked
bad
on
again. It's bad. Again.
Well,
it's 3 million some odd. Like they were a couple 100,000 viewers from having their number that they had 2 weeks ago. That's how bad it is. So, but forget about that. Don't you dare be sour, because we're going to talk about our 5 topics that we picked to discuss. And as usual, this list is curated by one of our resident Jews during this wonderful time of silver and blue, a very religious time for all of us. Hanukkah. 3 and enough, man. You need 8 crazy nights, and it is time for the Freedom 5.
You're gonna get a 5 count. Do you hear that? You're gonna get a 5 count.
3 ain't enough, man. I need 5. Just give me more.
The floor is yours, sir.
It's funny. I hear that song, obviously everybody thinks of Big E. Now he's in the New Day, and those pelvic thrusts, man, I don't know. That's not PG.
Booty West. They wanted to name
I
Kanye's.
will say, I didn't mind Sasha Banks' little booty motion last night.
Sasha Banks twerked
She
it
can
down
move.
last night.
Yeah, hey.
I ain't complaining about that.
There is
finally
no man that was complaining about that. Even gay men weren't complaining about that one.
Yeah, and they finally did what they've been teasing this kind of like thing on like Instagram and all this shit, but finally they've brought it to the main program, Team Bad.
Now,
and the New
are they
Day.
going to do a whole, like, each one of them is going to be banging one of them kind of thing? They're going to pair them up?
No, they can't, because if you watch Total Divas, you know that they're married to, like, one's married to an Uso.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And Sasha's
married
engaged.
to Mikaze. Sasha's either engaged or married to Mikaze, yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that's true. But, all right, well, I'm going to start this off because there's been a lot of chatter about Raw, and then I want to give my opinion. I thought the way they kicked Raw off was fantastic. It almost had an old school kind of feel to it, maybe because of ECW, whatever the case may be. I think I was very confused because what they wound up having as the opening match, they were a little late. I don't understand why we didn't do this in time for the Survivor Series. I still, that just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
In any event, they decided they weren't going to do it. They did it now. The opening to Raw was fantastic. The problem is the momentum only went down from there. I actually think overall Raw wasn't so bad. I thought it was actually pretty decent. But, some of the actual matches were good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to continue to lose viewers until you go down to 2 hours. That's your biggest problem. You crammed too much into the beginning because you wanted to catch people,
Right.
but you got to be able to keep them. And you got to be able to learn how to spread that out like you used to. And it's a lot easier to do with 2 hours instead of 3.
Yeah.
Especially with the Cowboys-Redskins game. I heard that was a total...
It was not a
washout.
good game until, it really wasn't ever a good game, except that the finish was exciting because the score was so low. So there was some comebacks and etc. But it was not a good game.
That's what I kept on hearing. My one friend's a Cowboys fan, and she wasn't enjoying the game much. I didn't enjoy the game much because I took the Redskins.
Ooh.
I mean, I thought Whedon was playing. Come on. As a Browns fan, I knew any chance Whedon gets, he will fail.
Now,
You want to know what else fucking pissed me off? You know what else pissed me off in that opening match? The first team to get eliminated once again was the fucking Wyatt.
Yeah, that pissed me off too.
especially when they were the ones that came out and started the whole thing and made the challenge.
That spot was really cool by Braun Strowman, though.
And there was a little thing with Swagger and Zeb, and then Del Rio has officially said that he doesn't want Zeb in his corner, so now what do you do with him?
And then he tripped over his scooter.
Right.
I trip over your scooter. You make me look
tripped
so
over
stupid.
it first, and that was why he decided he didn't want to be with him anymore.
You make me look stupid. Ridiculous. Does any of this shit does any of it matter? None of it mattered. None of it had any consequence.
Well, that actually built into the. Oh wait, we're getting
the
a
Wyatts.
United States title match.
The whole formation of the League of Nations is odd to me because they come together basically with the Sheamus Reigns thing, and Sheamus Reigns has got his boys now. I heard they might call them the family. I don't know if that's
what I kept on hearing.
With Dean Ambrose
family, yeah.
and the Usos. And again, why they couldn't do that at Survivor Series, I'll have no idea. But needless to say, but at the same time, you got the Usos with New Day and the Lucha Dragons for the tag belts, and then you got the Owens and Ambrose thing, and you got Del Rio with Zeb and the whole thing with possibly Swagger, and then you got Rusev with Lana and their whole deal. None of it none of it makes sense. I don't understand.
I actually prefer that. I like that they have a common alliance, but they're not. That's the issue I have with the Wyatt.
They're still doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with you. I think it makes perfect sense. Because that way they all have different things to do and people still get their matches. It still gives Dean Ambrose an opportunity to win the IC title. Yeah.
Unlike with the Wyatt family, you have to have a 4v4 match.
Right.
And it limits what you can do with them.
Poor Wade Barrett, he's got nothing to do out of the other. He's just kind of there in the background, and I feel bad because he's the only one out of the four that I actually give a shit about.
Right.
He's still with the main event, so it's better than him. What else would he be doing?
Yeah, nothing.
They should have capitalized on a face
jobbers right now. I agree with you, but that's not what they would be doing if he wasn't with the group.
Right, he'd be doing fuck all also anyway, so that is true.
But at least he's with, Sheamus, the World Heavyweight title. He will be going in main events with the tag team matches.
I don't know, it just sounded depressing to me. The whole show just seemed depressing to me.
There were some bright moments. I was watching it at work and it kept my attention.
That's good, because when I watched, I didn't watch it, I was reading the results. When it takes me 2 or 3 tries to get through the results, I know it's probably not a show that I would enjoy watching.
I really overall did not think Raw was that bad. I really don't. I think it kicked off. It started off really, really strong. It did deplenish a little bit throughout, but I think overall, even if a lot of it doesn't make sense, the matches that were there were good matches.
Right, like Owens versus Ziggler was good.
Yeah.
I was impressed with how much time they gave them. That was great. It was a good 25-minute match.
I loved the Charlotte Flair. Well, now here, let's talk about this one. So I loved the Charlotte Flair Paige Miz segment on Raw. But now, this is where I get fucking confused. So, who are we supposed to be cheering for?
There you go.
Paige is a heel. Charlotte is now really becoming the dirtiest woman in the game, and she's becoming her father, which is great. And I love that. And I'm okay with that. But who's the face? I don't know. Like, I want Charlotte to keep the title, but who am I supposed to root for? And that's what they're not making clear with this whole thing.
I think the whole thing is it's a transition that Paige is going to continue being heel and float to another feud, except to have to finish up business for Charlotte to move on to be heel and be the dirtiest woman in the game.
And she's going to be heel against, what's her name there? Charlotte. Becky Lynch, rather. Yeah, Charlotte's going to be heel
because
against
Paige seemed to be the instigator between the two as far as like problems between them.
But see, now here's my other problem. And let me throw this out to the panel. And this is not a knock against Becky Lynch. I happen to enjoy her. I think she's great in the ring. But at the end of the day, is she more deserving of a title shot than Sasha Banks? I don't think so.
Well, no, but she's also not a babyface.
I think she fits the
first babyface, but
she fits.
But you know what? She kind of is, though. She's not, but she kind of is.
People want, we want Sasha. Yeah, no, it's
right.
very, very much a, people
Sasha
want her.
Sasha can do no wrong in the eyes of the people. So whether she's a heel or a face, the fans still love her and cheer for her. So,
Well,
yeah, but I mean, I just, you know what? I think it was either Meltzer or Apter. I think it might have been Meltzer who said that, like, maybe it was one of those guys on one of the podcasts that they do. Like, if Bayley came up to the main roster right now, they wouldn't know what the fuck to do with her, and her career would be over. Like, she'd get called up, do nothing, and then that would be it for her. So, like, some people legitimately don't want to be called up. Like, when you hear, like, Devitt
Well, I heard Bayley said that she didn't want to get called
She's in no rush.
Yeah.
From what...
She's in none of those guys are in any rush. That's the wonderful thing. None of those guys are in any rush. Which to me makes it a better. I don't know.
You know what? Wait.
That brand means that brand itself is not changing that drastically.
Yes, you're 100% correct. But the other piece of it too is it shows you that these particular, we'll say, superstars are choosing to not go for the money.
Yeah.
That the craft is more important to them and the brand is more important to them than the money, because we know they're getting paid shit compared to what they're going to make when they're on Raw.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And you got to respect that.
Yeah, I mean, plus I think what they're doing right now is they're realizing short-term versus long-term gain. Like, yes, if you go to the main roster right now, you're going to make a lot more money. But on the flip side of that, how long are you going to make that money for if nobody's getting over?
Right.
Like, I imagine, like, one day, fucking Ray, whatever his name is, called his wife and he said, "Honey, we did it. Put on the red panties," like Conor McGregor would say. "It's a red panty night." And he's like, "I made it to Raw. My name's going to be Adam Rose." And the whole crowd sings my theme, and I come out with 30 people, and they're all in costumes, and it's like, we're going to buy a big house. That kid that we have that's sick, he's all set. Like, nope. Oh, my God.
They just did not give that guy enough time.
They put the fucking e-brake on that shit faster than Fandango. Oh, my God.
And then they seem to be following the same formula for every former NXT champion.
Like Tyler Breeze is coming up and just, like, he's not not that he's not getting over, he's not getting wins. And they're putting up against people.
He seems like he's getting attention.
Right.
They're doing a little bit better with Tyler Breeze than Neville. And...
Yeah, but they're taking people that don't need losses and putting them up against Tyler Breeze.
That's the thing about the roster right now. No one can afford a loss.
Yeah.
Somehow everybody needs a win. It needs to
because the only guy that that's been booked as a winner is calling a motherfucker tater tots. Okay, yeah. He's the only guy that's been booked to look. I said this earlier on Facebook. They're taking Roman Reigns and they're making him Diet Dwayne, or John Cena Light, or Hulk Hogan Zero. It's one of the three. It's a combination of all of them because.
And add a little Daniel Bryan to that. Somehow
now he's
They're
an
trying to
underdog.
put Daniel Bryan in there, but he's no Daniel Bryan because
You're a 6'6", 300-pound underdog. There we go.
he's constantly in main events. And like when he was in the thing that bugged the shit out of me when he was talking about the ladder.
Who's never
He's
lost
like,
a match
I
clean
was
in
at
3
the
years?
top of the ladder and won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then Sheamus kicked me down to the bottom of the ladder. But next pay-per-view, I'm in the title match. You never got down to that bottom ladder.
You're only on the second to last rung.
Yeah, you never got to that bottom thing of the ladder. You're right back up there.
The whole thing is confusing to me because, first of all, he started.
I think
he
was
like he's anti-authority, like John Cena did, like Stone Cold did. Then it was like, then he's the underdog, like Daniel Bryan and like Rey Mysterio was. And then it was like, oh, but he's against all these foreigners, so like he loves America, like Hulk Hogan and John Cena. And then it's like, oh, he needs to say some goofy shit to get the crowd chanting and think it's funny, so we're gonna make him like The Rock. So we're gonna make him say tater tots. And it's like The Rock could pull off tater tots. If you told The Rock to call somebody a fucking tater tot, it would be fine.
It's trending on Twitter right now.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference. The tater tot thing works, of course, but it was actually funny and it worked like the first 2 times he said it. After he said it about 8 or 9 times,
yeah, it loses.
Like I said to these guys earlier, it's like when a new song comes out and the radio station plays it 1,000 times in one day. You're like, well, great, now I don't fucking care about the song anymore. It's the same thing. Like it just got stupid.
I was watching some old school WWE stuff. The Rock never, in his heyday, never repeated the catchphrase.
Right.
Well, like it was always like when he threw out an insult. It was that insult, and then he moved on.
Yeah, and then you notice then towards the end of his run, like the people's strudel kept coming up a lot, and like they really relied on the pie thing for a while. So it was like instead of
Lillian, you get wet with perspiration.
His promos with Lillian were so great, and the
Rock
Kelly. The Rock concerts were perfect for
him with Coach, because
him and Coach were great.
Coach and Kevin Kelly got the word. Well, Michael Cole got it bad. They all got it bad. Everybody got it bad.
They all got it bad.
I would love to see Coach and Rock at 32.
Coach, I want you to do the Charleston.
Listen, if there was ever like a time that it would happen, I mean, now would be the time because with what they're doing with him on ESPN now and shit. So
that would be great. Great crossover.
Cool. I mean, I love the Coach. I would be great, even if The Rock was there and they just had one more classic promo. Make him do the Charleston again or something,
Except have The Rock join in this time.
Oh, jeez. The Rock, I mean, he's something.
You can have The Rock just steamroll Coach, especially with the goodwill ESPN's shown.
He'd be into it.
Well, it's not really the goodwill of ESPN. I'm sure they're getting something out of it for sure.
Money.
Yeah. This is a business deal.
Well, you know what I'm saying. On the surface, you don't want to pull up, show that they're giving money.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
Oh man, I heard Stardust actually had hit the hospital after Raw.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I heard they did X-rays or whatever and it came back negative, which is good.
That's good.
What happened? I didn't see anything with him.
No, I didn't see anything in the match that would. I just saw the report about it.
Yeah. Same here. I just saw the report. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was.
I'm loving the backstage stuff with him and Titus.
Those are great.
They're really giving.
Where are they going?
Time to explore his character and his
I think
natural charisma.
I think it's to help Stardust's character, but he'd also need someone to play off of. So
but what are they like? Are they dismissing the primetime players?
I heard. I can't remember what was going on with Darren Young, but there was a report about him a while back.
What, was he in the doghouse or injured or something?
No, not something something was going on with him.
Well, he did have a
okay.
personal issue, which is why he wasn't at Survivor Series.
Yeah,
But he
It
was
might
there the
just
next
be-
night, and it was the 6-man tag of them and Goldust.
and the whole personal thing might be still going. It might be a sick family member or something crazy like that.
It could definitely be something.
Like Mr. No Days Off had a day off.
He's been having a few days off.
Yo, I always wanted to do, and I've just been lazy to do this in Photoshop, but I wanted to take, Darren Young, and he's like, I'm Mr. No Days Off, and then do like the next frame is an advertisement for Gay Week at Disney, and then he looks at his schedule and realizes he has no days off, and then he has this look on his face like, oh no, I'm Mr. No Days Off, but it backfired on me because now I can't go on vacation. But I mean, I don't know. I just didn't have the.
Whatever it floats his boat.
Yeah, I did not have the ambition to make a 4-panel comic about Darren Young trying to take a day off as Mr. No Days Off. But I feel like it would be hard. Like, what would you do? Would Triple H, if you call in and you're like, hey, buddy, I got a cold this week, like, Mr. No Days Off, huh?
So, Mr. No Days Off.
And you have to sit there and just listen to him for 20 minutes, like at the beginning of Raw.
He cuts a huge
Okay.
promo.
All right. Can I go to the doctor now? Bye.
All right, H. I
I gotta go.
Yeah, man. Trip seems like he would be an okay person to try and get a day
I
off
think he
from.
wouldn't be a terrible
Vince
boss.
would be. I would not want to try and get a day off from.
Vince is the real Mr. No Days Off.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Vince wouldn't give you the time off. Triple H would give you the time off and then bust your balls about it for like a month. He'd be like, remember that time you called in sick? Colonoscopy? He just fucking talk shit about you for a month. Vince would talk shit about you and not give you the time off.
yeah.
He'd just be like, this lazy bastard over here.
Or he might
during a production meeting, that motherfucker over there just
Right.
asked for a day
What do
off.
you need time off for?
When I was here, I worked a 16-hour shift every day of the week.
Yeah, my friend worked as a writer's
Just to get in
assistant
here.
for WWE. Like, and Vince got mad one time in a meeting, and it was his fault. And he's like, well, the easiest way to diffuse this situation was just to cop to it. So he was like, Vince McMahon was like, well, who did this? He's like, it was me, sir. Oh, okay, don't do it again. Like, if you just stop him in the middle of it, he has no moment. If you're just like, yeah, I fucked up, I'm sorry. Like, he has nowhere to go.
Right, because what more can he say?
Yeah.
I think, but that's what you would expect if you're a boss. Admit to it, move on.
Right. But I mean, he stopped what was probably going to be one of those kind of Vince McMahon
Oh, yeah.
speeches just by, it was me. All right, sorry. Let's move on. So I heard that Michael Cole called Brie Bella and Alicia Fox the Bellas a couple times.
Yeah, he did a lot.
That sounds pretty
He
stupid.
kept on calling. I had my phone in my pocket when the match started, and I pulled out, and looked at it because I'm like, isn't Nikki out?
Right? Yeah, we all kind of assume we're like, well, we're
Yeah, well, what Bella's because it's Team Bella.
right.
So,
It's Team Bella, but she's not a Bella as far as
Like,
Alicia Fox. is
So
not.
wait. So Cole said the Bella's not Team Bella?
Yeah, he said the Bellas.
He's right by technicality, the best kind of correct.
Technically correct.
If we're
The
talking
best
about
kind
the
of
stable,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought the stable was Team Bella. I
Yeah.
think Bella's
So I guess Alicia's an honorary Bella.
Yeah, she's an honorary Bella now.
Yep.
Free mode, Fox mode,
Foxy mode.
Oh no! Oh God,
Well,
that
the Power
would be
Rangers
no.
suck.
Let's just not do that.
What does the Fox say?
I would appreciate the rock music in the background.
Oh man! Now, all right, be real with me here. How was Tommy Dreamer versus Braun Strowman?
That was a squash match. Straight up.
You're
Dreamer
raw
got-
main event.
Dreamer got out there, and it's exactly what you would expect. Dreamer
Not
got
that I don't dislike Tommy Dreamer, but there's a certain way that match is gonna go.
Yeah, there's no way Dreamer's gonna be the first person to take Braun Strowman off his feet and really give him a hard match.
Exactly.
I still love what I called it though, the Hug of Doom. The Hug of Death. Because it is pretty much a big...
Nothing's worse than the Yeti and the Giant sandwiching Hogan in that...
The dry hump of doom.
What the hell?
Hey, there was just a lot of love in that night. Oh man, that's rough. At least it wasn't two men grinding on Hulk Hogan.
One of them wrapped in dirty toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know. Meanwhile, a Yeti is supposed to be some kind of Bigfoot, yet they made him a mummy.
Yeah.
Someone didn't do their research, clearly.
They got like halfway through.
It was a Yeti that was just identifying as a mummy, you racist, homophobic hater. Jesus.
Right? No. Well, remember during that pay-per-view...
PETA coming after us.
PETA? He's not an animal, is he? Or is he?
He's a mythical creature.
Right.
You are hating on... For shame.
But the Yeti, I don't know if you remember this during the pay-per-view, they had fucking Tony Schiavone say the stupidest things, and he said them with such conviction you almost believe them.
The Yeti!
I've just gotten word that the Yeti has thawed out from the ice. He's come out of the ice and he's on his way. Nobody gives a shit. Where's the Yeti coming from? If he's in Antarctica or fucking Nepal.
Coming from the mountains.
Yeah, how is he coming from Nepal, which is where the Yeti is from? Newsflash, read a book. All the way to Cobo Hall in Detroit, Michigan. That is not a quick trip. The Yeti doesn't teleport.
He is a mythical creature who has amazing powers, and he does what the fuck he wants.
The amazing power to dry hump Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
That was Ron Reese. Was that Ron Reese?
And then he became a member of the flock a few years later.
That wasn't much better.
I would love to know what Hulk Hogan was thinking during that moment.
Oh, man.
Well, I gotta go against the Dungeon of Doom, brother.
Right? Keep your dick away from me, brother.
All these people for Hogan to face it.
Come on, bro. He was probably on his guard, so one of them didn't roll him up.
And then he
felt the Yeti come up from behind him, and he goes, "Is Bruce here, brother?"
And then they brought Zeus in as Z Gangsta.
Z Gangsta.
And the Ultimate Solution, who they
That's
were.
right. They had to change the name.
They had to change the name because of the freaking Holocaust. You know.
Yes. Yeah, the Ultimate Solution, the final
solution.
People kind of get upset over that. I don't know.
Right.
That would have been a shitstorm.
A couple million people died. Whatever. Come on. They're over it by now. I mean, that was, you know.
What was worse, Z Gangster or Z Man Tom Zenk?
Z Gangsta. He made Tom Zenk look good.
Did you know that Tom Zenk is actually very, very popular amongst the apartment wrestling crew? Like, fans, aficionados of this weird, the quasi-homosexual apartment wrestling stuff. I have a friend who was a wrestler, and they would get emails a lot. But all the emails from the promoters that filmed apartment wrestling said the same thing. Well, do you look like Z-Man? Really? Like, and it was not just one or two. It was like anybody that did apartment wrestling was looking for guys that looked like Z-Man. So I don't know if Z-Man was popular amongst gay people or just that Z-Man had a certain look, that maybe attracted people to. I don't know. I mean, now I'm gonna have to look at Tom Zenk and see if, like what the attraction is. I mean, I guess he's a good-looking guy. I don't know. I'm not really into dudes, so I can't say.
I can't. I'm in the same boat. I don't know.
Right? He seems like a nice enough guy, but I don't know if I'd want to jerk it to him. You know, it's just how it is. Now, we got. By the way, I love that the spreadsheet has pages now. We're
moving on up.
We really are. Soon we're gonna have to ask which page and what color. We're gonna have to color code the whole thing. You know, in like blue. We're gonna be
that the Ryback Rusev match was a nice conclusive step forward with setting up Ryback.
Are we gonna? I mean, they're already married, so they can't do an in-ring wedding. which kind of disappoints me because.
I heard
you
weren't they just engaged?
Oh, they're just engaged. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe they could do an in-ring wedding.
Oh my God!
You know, with a bunch of you have the. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now gathered here today for the weddings of Lana and Rusev. And it's just like Sacha Baron Cohen in a wig.
How about like a terrible Putin
I
ripoff?
thought.
Yes. A Putin impersonator could marry them.
Oh my God!
That would be Attitude Era-esque right there.
Bring back Vladimir Kozlov. I love double E.
What if they're like, and if anybody opposes the wedding, please speak now. And then his music and Kozlov walks out. He goes, I love double E. I love Lana. And it's like.
And then they bring out Nikolai Volkov to sing the Russian national anthem.
Nikolai Volkov comes off and sings their first dance.
Come on,
This is already better than anything that they've put on Raw in the past 3 weeks.
Come on, you're putting me on.
You're Putin on the Ritz. This is what we're down to. Raw drew just over 3 million people, and the last hour of the show lost like 300,000 people. And
I don't know why.
2.8 million.
It feels like every time Reigns goes up to the main event and has a big main event segment, we're losing.
Oh, gee. Isn't that funny? Maybe there's a correlation between the guy who can't cut a promo and the fact that your ratings are tanking in the third hour. What was it he called them? Did he call him Boy?
Well, he
does
goes boy a
a
lot.
lot.
That's like that's his action phrase, boy.
Isn't that a bit old-timey southern white guy talking to a black kid? You know, like...
It's used a lot.
You gonna park my car, boy? But I get what you mean. What are you gonna do, boy? What are you gonna do, boy? Son? That would be the other one, is if he starts doing son. What are you gonna do, son?
That's his other thing, son.
You don't listen to him close enough to even know this. Oh my God, I'm just making...
He says young man.
I like when he used
Say
to call
young man.
Renee. He called Renee baby girl. I like that. I don't know if Dean liked that, but I liked that.
Yeah, Dean was probably, as soon as the cameras
Renee was wearing the
cut off,
dark
he
lipstick.
probably hit him in the arm.
Believe that, baby girl. Yo, stop talking to my girl like that, dude.
I am busy mastering those titties. Back
Right?
off.
He is mastering those titties.
Oh, man. Alright,
Instead of Master of Puppets, where there should be a album cover that says Master of Titties with him. That's all. Instead of Master of Puppets had all the gravestones on it, right? It could be him, just his head, like repeated. Maybe I'll do that later.
like the puppet strings and just boobs everywhere. Touch the strings.
I mean, they might as well. I mean, they make all those memes of Dean Ambrose eating popcorn watching something.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
now there was the one of Dean Ambrose watching Dean Ambrose eating popcorn while watching Dean Ambrose eat popcorn on the TV. Brilliant.
I have to say that soda looked like it hurt Owen's eyes last night.
Oh no, he did the old soda spot.
Yeah, up in the eye. It's not enjoyable. But for wrestling, kind of weak.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I have to share an image with you guys for a second. I'm gonna turn my webcam off so I can move it around to show you, because I can't. I'm gonna put it up on Facebook later, but I want to give a preview to the fans here because I love it and I think it's really funny, but I don't know if I'm the only. I might be the only one that finds this funny. Let's see. It's the Cam New Day.
That's awesome.
I'm definitely gonna put that up on Facebook because I feel like after his performance the past couple of weeks, Cam Newton deserves to be a member of the New Day.
He's an honorary member of the New
He's
Day.
an honorary member, as far as I'm concerned, because you can't be sour when you're watching a game where Cam Newton is doing things that he's doing. I'm a Packers fan, and I'm watching this kid in awe of what he's doing. It's unbelievable. He's playing football like nobody's played football before. Anyway, let me get my camera set back up. There we go. And I'll put that New Day
Like
picture.
Al Bundy, who once scored 4 touchdowns in a single game.
That was high
For
school.
Polk High.
I was going to say it's Polk High. Yes, no ma'am. No ma'am. I
Well,
love
right.
that no ma'am stuff. That was funny as fuck.
You know, I wish that they would have done like a stable around King Kong Bundy and they'd all put their hands in and go, "Whoa, Bundy!"
He'd probably get a lawsuit in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but they did. But he was on like Married with Children as a guest several times.
True.
One of the uncles or whatever.
Yeah.
Working relationship, and I did see the episode where Al fought some of the Glow girls. Like Big Bad Mama came off the top rope.
All right. Anybody ready to tackle the TLC card?
Oh God, yes. Let's talk about that wonderful collection of
Events.
Wrestling prowess.
All right, let's kick it off.
I'm still getting backed up by my picture.
And one other thing, I just want to throw this in real quick before we jump. Real quick.
Go for it.
Big fucking shout out to Tommy Dreamer last night because he was rocking polka dot leg in remembrance of Dusty Rhodes. I didn't want to forget about that. Go ahead.
Did he wrestle in a t-shirt?
Yep, his House of Hardcore.
Oh, okay.
I give him all the credit in the world. If you're able to rock your product on Monday Night Raw.
No, I just I was hoping it wasn't just like, they give him some
anything up.
The WWE Network logo on his shirt.
Like or TLC.
It just said $9.99 on it.
Well, they should have. I would have. That would have been great.
What if? Oh my God, that's what they should do. They should have. You know how when they do that thing with the signs, WWE Network is $9.99, Pay Per View is $59.99. They should have Tommy Dreamer come out in the $9.99 shirt, and then Bull Dempsey come out in the $59.99 shirt.
I don't understand. I honestly do not understand why they're still charging $59.
Because they can.
Because not everyone has the network.
No, what I'm saying is the big reason why DirecTV dropped WWE pay-per-views was the fact that they're like, hey, you're charging $9.99. Why are you demanding? That would put them back on DirecTV, which would eventually get them more money by lowering the cost of the pay-per-view.
Right. The problem was the way the pay-per-view is built, like the way the pricing is built, $59, about 10 of that went to WWE, so that's why their price point's $10 on the network. 10 of it goes to WWE, some of it goes to the company, the particular service, whether it's Dish or whomever. Then part of it goes to like a promoter or a distributor, whoever does it. So it reached so many hands that $60 was. I remember they were $35, and I sound old as fuck for saying I remember when the pay-per-views were $35.
And in your houses were $15.
Yeah, you could get a couple friends together. Everybody brought over $5. You could have pizza and a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I miss going to like Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the pay-per-views.
Yeah, that was nice when you couldn't have, you didn't want to pay the full boat. You still wanted to go to like Hooters or Buffalo Wild Wings and watch.
You know what my problem is doing, and like I was never into doing that because I like to hear the pay-per-view too. And when you're in that kind of place, with everybody else talking, it's hard to hear it. My
Buffalo Wild Wings always had the audio loud enough you could hear the commentary, and it also had that kind of semi-live crowd feel because you also had fans who were reacting to the product.
That's cool, I guess. That's true.
Because there was always a crowd chant going. I mean,
yeah,
like the Cena, there was always a "Let's go Cena." Like it was literally my Buffalo Wild Wings was literally like watching it in crowd.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I interrupted so many "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chants with CM Punk.
We had a pretty raucous like a Hooters that we would go to. That was pretty cool. But again, it's one of those things where the distributor stops showing the pay-per-view or stops offering to the restaurants, and because it's not worth it to them anymore, because people can just go for $10 and do it.
All right.
Yeah, you want to tell us? What do we got? Six matches announced.
We got 6 matches. Let's start off with the easiest match to determine. Del Rio versus Jack Swagger in a chairs match.
I'd like to say that Swagger goes over, but he's not. He's just not.
Yeah, I would say normally you
that is a question mark right now.
I would say by disqualification, but you're not going to get a DQ.
Not in the chairs match, no.
So probably Del Rio's going to get one over, probably by doing something to...
He's going to do that stupid foot stomp.
No, I'm going to say he's probably going to do something to Coulter, distract Swagger, and then a big spot for the win.
You think this is all kind of a swerve that to set up the possibility, like to tease that Coulter's going to come out and side with Swagger, and then have him just, nope, just kidding. And
no, I think he's going to come out. Del Rio's going to get pissed.
Oh, okay.
He's going to get Coulter. Swagger's going to worry about Coulter, and Del Rio's going to capitalize.
Okay, there you go. And,
which gets you to probably to the Royal Rumble, which will...
Well, who gives a fuck about the U.S. Championship anyway? Like, Jesus Christ.
It's kind of sad. It used to be a huge part of... Anybody miss Cena now?
Yeah. It's funny because, like, Cena is not technically great, and he's never been technically great, but he always carried himself like a main eventer, and that was what got him over, was that he carried himself like he'd been there before.
You could say the same thing about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and I mean, it's true. There's a hole there because they've been booking the show around him for 10 years, and without him there, that's a quarter of your show, probably, that's gone. It's hard to come back from anyway, even if it wasn't like, okay, if you had Cena but didn't have, if Cena was gone for this reality show or whatever, that I know somebody who's going to be on, by the way, but I don't want to get sued.
Just answer this. You won't get sued by answering this question. Do I know them as well?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
You have developed a relationship with these people at one time. One of the people, this particular person, may have been a guest on our show, which reduces the cast list significantly. I'll tell you later. Anyway, if Cena was gone and Seth was around, because they booked the show around Seth too.
Yeah.
Or if it was the other way around, Seth got injured, so Cena was around. Or if they just took a guy that was over and put them in the top spot instead of taking somebody that wasn't over and put them in the top spot. Like if they took Dean Ambrose or they took Cesaro or they took any of these guys. And I'm not going to say Cesaro because he's not going to light the world on fire, but...
And you'd be in the same spot again because Cesaro's out.
Right, now Cesaro's out. But, giving these guys the belt at this point was the same thing as giving... You need to give somebody who's over the belt. It's like Diesel. Diesel wasn't a great worker, but he was over. And Kevin Nash got better as the years went on. He was never Ric Flair. You're 6'7", almost 7 feet tall.
You're never going to be a Ric Flair.
Right. But he was really, really over, and it was a down period. They needed somebody to take the title, so they were just like, okay, it's the steroid trial era. Everybody's clean. The only guy that's big naturally right now is Diesel, so they're going to put the belt on him. If they did the same thing, they just picked a guy that was over and put the belt on him. It might have.
Because that would have worked with Razor Ramon too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it would have worked with Razor because he was another guy that was naturally just built like that. He's still naturally bigger than most wrestlers. But not even the size thing. It's just the overness. Those guys were over enough to warrant that. Diesel, for his lack of skill or whatever you want to call it, was over enough that they put the title on him. Reigns has the same amount of skill. Maybe he probably has more skill. He has more technical skill than Diesel, but he's just not.
He doesn't carry himself in the.
He needs that time as a big heel before he becomes a big face.
I think they need to stop they're trying to make him The Rock. They're trying to make him Cena. They're trying to make him Hogan. They're trying to make him let him be Roman Reigns.
That's where Kevin Nash failed, is where they tried to make him more into a Hogan.
Right. Roman Reigns, when he was over with the Shield, didn't say a lot, and they played to his strengths, which was setting up for that big hot tag, getting the Superman punch and the spear, and that big power bomb, and the ooh-ah! Like, all that stuff was really over, especially when he had, like, Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins cut a promo, and he just goes, believe that. And when he said believe that, that was when everybody went, oh my God! And, like, panties dropped. It was great. It was a wonderful time in wrestling. they're giving him things to say that Roman Reigns in his regular life, whatever his real name is, Joe Anawati, whatever the way that he talks on this show or the way they're trying to get him to talk is not the way that he talks in real life. Let him say words that he's actually going to say. let him have some input. Talk to him a little bit. Find out how he speaks, what his speech pattern is. He seems so uncomfortable.
It brings us to the point. Everything's too overly scripted.
On that term, Becky Lynch actually talks the way Becky Lynch, the whole puns. I've listened to her on Talk is Jericho, and that whole podcast was nothing but Becky puns.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I mean, that is fantastic, but when they had her, on the Miz's show...
No, it's not a bad thing, but I can just picture what the puns were like.
It was exploration, and Jericho was getting in on it, and it was just, they were...
She's got a Mick Foley sense of humor, you know?
Yeah. It was definitely Mick Foley. The whole podcast was Mick Foley-esque jokes.
That's wonderful. I mean, I like Becky. I think she's going to be a good personality. Honestly, like, I hate to say it, but I still think, in terms of, like, most stuff, Charlotte is still the one that's flagging behind everybody. She's the biggest one. She's the tallest one. She's the most notable, most famous one, but she's not, like...
I think with the whole dirtiest woman in the game, she seems like a lot better heel than she's fake.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And, and she needs to explore the, the kind of heel she was in NXT. That's the way she needs to be.
Yeah.
She's gonna be a heel more like the way her father.
Superior.
The way her father was a heel.
Could they start calling her Flair though for something? Like, can they give her? I know the girls are not allowed to have a last name unless it's Bella or Fox, apparently.
I'm sure once she starts adopting more of the Flair gimmick, she'll have. From what I heard, she didn't want to use it till she was up at that game. So once she probably feels like that, she will.
Well, they might as well. Everyone knows she's Flair's daughter.
I mean, he's out there with her. Are they going to talk? I think maybe this might sound a little too raunchy, but they could call her the dirtiest girl in the game. Are you a dirty girl?
Works.
No, I don't think calling her a dirty girl would be PG at all. But yeah, if they do,
you could always
Flair, the nature girl, something. Or come out, maybe have like a little. She doesn't have to have a robe, but maybe she had like one of those little, like capey things with like feathers and sparkles, like something.
Kind of like Charlotte, not Charlotte and Talia thing, except more Flair.
Right, more Flair-like, yeah. Like, she's a Flair. I get that she's... Okay, they haven't really given her the last name Flair, and I get that she hasn't been coronated as a Flair, but maybe this might be the point. If she comes out on Sunday with, like, a new outfit and the new... I don't know.
It would be a good time to
Eva Marie's robe.
But she's 85% of the way there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Charlotte is 85% of the way there, and when she fires on all cylinders and all these other girls, when things start to click, they're going to click because they're all just natural athletes. So, I mean, Becky, Sasha, all those girls, now that they're on the main roster, if it clicks and they get these stories right, they're going to go.
But we can all agree that Sasha is the most well-rounded in every category.
Sasha
hands down
should be women's champion already if Ric Flair's daughter wasn't a wrestler.
I think they're building to Charlotte versus Sasha at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that would be brilliant.
That would be a good build.
That's why Sasha's not #1 contender yet.
They want to let it simmer.
I'd be okay with let it go. I agree with that.
I'd be really okay with that.
Any chance that
and unfortunately Becky Lynch will be the in-between feud.
Becky Lynch will be the Dean Ambrose of this trio.
Yeah, she'll be the Royal Rumble feud.
Right.
But any chance Paige picks up the title?
I don't.
Charlotte's not losing the title already.
Yeah, I think she's got to keep it until WrestleMania, and then put somebody over. I think she's got to put somebody over at WrestleMania. That's my. I
don't think Sheamus is losing either. Now that he has the new faction and everything, I don't see how he's gonna lose.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look,
Sheamus not going to... I mean, I think maybe they have Reigns win it at the Rumble.
Yeah, because look...
You've got a brand new Royal Rumble, WrestleMania feud starting that day.
No, but I'm telling you, Brock Lesnar's winning the Rumble this year.
I heard a funny theory. I want to see if you guys think this is good or not.
Shoot.
Somebody suggested that Brock Lesnar go in at number 1 and have a perfect.
And
Rumble.
eliminate everybody. I read that too. I think
That would be
brilliant.
amazing.
That would be awesome.
That's something that's never happened at a Rumble that should.
Ever. If Brock Lesnar came in at number 1 and Daniel Bryan was number 2 and he just threw him about 13 rows into the crowd, like, oh my God.
He'd be the happiest guy in the world.
Could you imagine the reaction of the crowd? Like, he comes back, it's a surprise, nobody knows Daniel Bryan comes back, and he just hammer throws a motherfucker into the crowd, and they're just like,
Yeah,
Duh,
just
he's the biggest heel in the building.
put a bunch of indie guys to catch Brian.
Yeah, so you've got 6 guys doing a crowd surfing thing. But if he did that, I don't know how interesting it would be to watch.
Yeah, after a couple eliminations, it would kind of get dull because no one has it.
Right.
So if one time
I
out
think
the Rumble, what's your Mania main event then? Is it Reigns versus Lesnar or is it Sheamus versus Lesnar?
That's the thing. If it's Reigns Lesnar again, the crowd might shit on it.
And
then again, the crowd will shit on Sheamus versus Lesnar also.
But
Yes, this is also true. Why is my camera not working? Anyway.
the Sheamus would at least be a heel, so you'd want the boos.
Yeah.
Reigns,
And
you
then
would not
Lesnar
want
would be the
boos.
baby face going in.
Yeah, it would actually work.
But
I think we have to hope that Seth Rollins injects stem cells into his knee so we can have that Shield triple threat.
The whole
you should take some pointers from John Cena.
Take some pointers. By pointers, do you mean steroid needles? I shouldn't have said that. But it's true. Anyway, what happens with Roman Reigns and Shamo? Who wins this match? It has to be Shamo in order to extend it to the Rumble, right?
I think Sheamus has to win regardless if you extend it to the Rumble.
And then
Because there'd be
Owens...
no point for the cash-in.
Now, how many title changes do we have here? Because 5 of these matches are title matches.
I think the only possible title change would be the
Dean Ambrose is taking the IC title. I think that's your only title change.
I don't think he's going to take it.
I don't
think
think
he
so either. I honestly...
Is this his first time going against Owens for it?
I believe so.
Then I think maybe he's gonna he probably wouldn't win the first time around.
And
But
look
then
how
again-
many title shots that Ambrose had for every belt and has never...
U.S. champion, IC champion,
How many belts has he stolen and never actually won it?
I hate that, especially with Roman stealing the belt. Come on, man, you already won the belt. You shouldn't have to, you shouldn't have to do that shit.
Ugh.
I don't really like when him and Brock did the little tug of war over the
Oh,
belt.
yeah,
I thought
that
that
was
looked
horrible.
so stupid.
I was watching that go-home show, getting ready to go out to California. I'm like, oh my god, this is bullshit.
It's like, oh, we paid for it. Now, I guess the last thing we didn't mention was the New Day, the Usos, and the Lucha Dragons for the titles.
Yeah.
What do you? I think the New Day's got to keep them.
I could see the Usos winning it just because the New Day does not need the titles.
Right? They don't. Yeah, they don't need them. But
New Day's keeping the straps. That's my opinion.
I think we got to be. I think for the most part we got to be status quo on this show because
Yeah.
You can't have too many title changes now. It'll.
I
It's
would
like,
pay money for
yeah.
either Kofi Kingston or Xavier Woods to grab the belt off Big E's shoulders.
What do you mean? Like if they? Oh, is it a ladder? Oh, it's a ladder match.
It's a ladder
so they're
match.
standing on his shoulders.
Yeah, and just literally because they did the whole on how they don't need ladders. And,
Okay,
Xavier
if they
Woods
could pull
played
it
the
off.
tree, and Kofi Kingston played the cat, while Xavier Woods played the rest of New Day.
I think none of the titles are changing hands.
Ooh. Okay.
I could see that, but if anyone was going to drop the belt, I could see New Day just because they don't need it.
The only other one that I can see dropping it really is Swagger. I mean,
That's
not Swagger.
awesome.
Del Rio 2
Yeah.
Swagger. Because I think the tag belt and the U.S. belt are probably the ones that people are focusing on. The writing team's focusing on the least. So who knows? Title change. But let's just see. No, it would make sense because it would make sense for Alberto to keep it because he's a heel.
Yeah.
And then if the ECW team goes over the Wyatts, a babyface wins. But then if Charlotte wins, a heel wins, and if Owens
You
wins, a
need the
heel
Wyatts
wins.
to win, though.
You know what? You've got a lot of heel champions here, so maybe you do have to have a title. You have to have like one title change, or maybe the baby faces go over. I don't know, man. It's a weird. This is a weird pay-per-view. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's not really like the card itself is not really like as strong as it could be.
Especially with the 8-man tag elimination table match, you can't have all 4 Wyatts go through tables.
Yeah, no. See, Yeah, I think that would kill their heat. So maybe Swagger or Ambrose or I really think it's only the mid card titles that are in any danger of changing because I don't think the world title, like we said, is changing until Rumble, and even the women's title I don't think is changing.
Yeah, there's no chance of that.
So
especially
the other ones
they're building up to WrestleMania feud and.
Yeah, so I think the 2 that you're going to look at is going to be the IC belt, the US belt, or the third one, tag belt. Those are the only 3 changes. Only 3 I could see changing. Out of those, 1. You know, my over-under is like a half.
Show match while we're.
Oh, do we have it?
The pay-per-view? No, there isn't one. I'm playing Booker Hat.
It should be Stardust and Titus O'Neil versus Goldust and Booker T. That's the pre-show match.
I'm getting too over this shit.
Right.
I would love this.
Booker rides down to the ring on his Swagway hoverboard thing.
I don't know how those things are called hoverboards. They do not hover.
They don't hover, but could you imagine him riding one to the not only riding it to the ring, but bringing it into the ring and just going gingerly around, running the ropes
like
with it
like Stone Cold did with his ATV
or that desk chair. Remember the random time he just rode a desk chair down the ramp and almost killed himself? Yeah,
because it was the mat in the ramp just immediately braked.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if ever they promoted drunk driving, they sure did with Stone Cold. He always had some kind of vehicle.
Always had a vehicle, and he was always drinking.
Yeah, but none of them were. Well, I guess you did have to be licensed to operate a.
Like a Zamboni?
Yeah, a Zamboni you'd have to be licensed.
From what he always said is they
a beer
always
truck.
backstage they always showed him like a minute before on how to operate everything.
Yeah, but I mean, could technically, if he's drunk while operating in a Zamboni, can you get a ticket for that?
I don't know in a controlled environment.
Can we ask a Canadian? Does a Canadian know? If you drive a Zamboni while drunk.
That's going to be our new segment, Ask a Canadian.
We should get some... Well, you know, I'm really proud to be here. I gave that match a 4 out of 10. Thanks, Brett. Oh, and by the way, you can get a DUI on a Zamboni. Bye.
By the way, I give this podcast a 4 out of 10.
Podcast went way too long. 4 out of 10. I don't like the Ryan guy.
1,000 podcast.
There wasn't any good spots.
No good spots.
No,
I was thinking about this earlier today. These guys had the fucking balls to wrestle a 60-minute match to a draw and then go to overtime. Nobody does it. Like, that was the last time anybody did that. Wrestle a 60-minute match to a draw on a pay-per-view. That was it. It was the last time it was ever tried.
You have to have them really caring about the finish, though. How many people, if you put it to a draw, that they just wouldn't be pissed?
Yeah, yeah.
Other than Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
And then they had to go to overtime for the final fall, which was great, but like, don't make it an Iron Man match though. Just have it as be a 60-minute, like a one fall match with a 60-minute time limit. Because, like, I think the expectation was, it's an Iron Man match. Everybody's gonna get 2 or 3 falls, whatever. But neither guy wanted to get pinned by the other guy, so they just weren't gonna fucking do it. They were just, that's the way they got along.
It did take 2 super kicks from Shawn Michaels.
Yes,
I enjoyed how it
connected that well.
Yeah.
Vince, I'll never forget Vince.
The finish. I mean,
he got it. He got all of it.
The whole thing, the ending with the close calls at the end of the thing, the time expiring. We're not going to do whatever, blah blah blah, leaving the ring, and then overtime, and then that was beautiful. But like the modern audience, and this is when you could tell that they were starting to become the modern audience, was not as receptive to 60-minute matches they were. When it was Flair and Steamboat.
Yeah.
It was the same, those guys wrestled just as good as Shawn and Brett are going to wrestle just as good as Steamboat and Flair. I would say, it's hard to, it's hard to compare. You can't just say, oh, this guy's a 98, this guy's a 99, but it's going to be in the wheelhouse there. It's just that the fans, it was a new generation, and they just, it was not as receptive. They fucking, I was just thinking about it earlier today. It's amazing that they tried something that it was at the time was revolutionary, a 60-minute pay-per-view match with no fall at all. Crazy. It was craziness. That's about it for me. Anybody else got any things they'd like to add? Because we're past the 8 o'clock hour now, so we're gonna start wrapping up.
I can't think of anything.
TagMeDate.com. First one's free. Sign up.
Definitely. We will have new sound drops for our commercials next week because Steve gave me some links to like Noel and Frank, and I saw some ads for our buddy. What's the show? Married at First Sight.
Yeah, Married at First Sight. Jason Carrion.
Yeah, and you've got the Jason Carrion one. I saw an ad for that the other day. And wow. Yeah. I mean, I'll have to check it out.
Speaking of Noel, she might be with the E soon.
Oh yeah, because Dewey has the job now.
Yeah. I heard they were looking for her for backstage interviews.
Yeah, and it would be nice if they took her, moved her backstage, and then moved Renee to the commentary table and got rid of Byron.
He's a lot better on NXT.
Hey, it's not unusual.
No, he's not bad on NXT, but he's too... It's like having Michael Cole and Black Michael Cole on Raw. It really is. Like, you don't need two of them. I think...
I'm just saying, he's a lot better on NXT. I'm giving him credit where credit's due.
But I think it's because him and Cole are just play-by-play guys, and they're very similar. So you don't, you need a guy that's kind of a dissenting voice. Yeah. Otherwise, all the commentary sounds.
JBL wasn't much of a dissenting voice.
Nothing was settled tonight here, and I love it, Michael.
I mean, is he a face or is he a heel?
I don't know. Let me talk to you about rugby. Do you like rugby? John, fucking nobody watches rugby. I'm going to talk about rugby.
John, no one gives a shit about rugby. Oh, I give a shit about rugby.
I climbed a mountain, damn it. I climbed a mountain for my rugby kids. All right, we should really get
rugby kids.
He did. He climbed a mountain to raise money for his rugby team. He lives in the Caribbean and coaches a kids rugby team. This guy was living the life. I don't know why he came back to WWE.
I think for his sanity, just because if you're on the road that much and then you go from doing nothing.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
I don't know how people like Austin do it.
Oh, well, I'm sure he's got 1,000 things to do during the day. He just doesn't have to wrestle anymore. He's probably still very, very busy.
Yeah, his podcasters.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I'm glad he was able to do something that doesn't, fuck.
I was kind of pissed with his Foley podcast. I listened to that, and halfway when I downloaded it,
thought maybe
they started playing the first part again.
Oh no! Oh, that sucks. I hate when that happens. So yeah, tagmedate.com. First 30 days are free. I'll play a little drop from Hartzell, but we got some new stuff we'll mix in. Like I said, we got Jason, we got Noel, we got Frank in there. What's the other one that you got for me?
Jasmine St. Clair.
Jasmine St. Clair. The lovely Jasmine St. Clair, our Tag Me a Date spokesmodel, I guess we could say.
I like the term.
I would love it if she was at a boat show or something with a big Tag Me a Date sign.
Just staple it on her. It's okay.
No, that would hurt. She was in ECW. She can handle it. All right. Well, once again, go to tagmedate.com. Your first 30 days are free. You sign up for all the other dating websites, and frankly, I know who you found, and they're weird. And if you're going for a weird person, why don't you go for a weird person that likes wrestling? It's better that way. Right?
And on the dating site,
stamped. Everybody's a little weird. There are people that are into My Little Pony. There are people that are into anime. There are people that are into, a lot of weird stuff. But you want to find somebody that's into wrestling, so you go to tagmedate.com. Don't go to porndating.com. Go to tagmeadate.com. What else? Anything else? Oh, yeah. We're here every Tuesday night.
Clown.fart.
Clownpenis.fart, the last domain name left. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, go to youtube.com, type in Tag Me a Date, all one word, TAGMEADATE, and you will find our YouTube page. You can see our archive of shows. You can see our upcoming scheduled show for the week. And you can follow us all on social media, etc., etc. At Tag Me a Date is what you're going to want to do. Just Google Tag Me a Date. You'll find all this wonderful stuff. I'm going to play a little sound clip. We will see you all next week.
Guys, it's finally here. Our first ever online dating service for wrestling fans. My name is Hartzell. I'm a radio DJ here in Kansas City, Missouri. But hey, don't take my word for it. Sign up today. Tagmeadate.com. Your first month's free. Why not give it a shot? Tagmeadate.com.